Hello and welcome to Ninqueso Almost Live. This is episode number 49. I am El Gran Queso and I am joined by the roller skating wonder, Miss Bree.
Live from London, here I am. Good afternoon, bestie. How
Hello.
are you?
I'm been better, but I'm alive.
Yeah.
It's always a bonus when you're not pushing up daisies.
You survived COVID, but now you have
I survived
long
COVID, but now I'm struggling with the after effects of COVID, which is really rubbish. Oh, the sirens are coming! Quick, hide!
Yeah, there's a lot of it going about.
What, sirens or COVID?
If anybody has got any cures for long COVID that are legal, please do come and tell us. We're desperate at this point.
Yeah, but on the plus side, I've been playing Pokemon Arceus, which is probably the best Pokemon game I've played in.
Have you been on Twitch? Have you been streaming that?
I streamed a couple of it. So I've done about 10 hours on it now. I've done some side quests off stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really, really good. I would recommend it's really good. That's all I can say. It's just so refreshing to have a nice new take on the world of Pokemon and the fact that you can creep about.
Playing, haven't you?
Yeah, and do you know what else I played?
What did you play?
I was on Game Pass. Tetris Effect. Now, I recommend that to you massively. It's like Tetris, but the board is quite small in the centre, and you have like all patterns and stuff around the outside, which interact with you getting lines and your movements. And the beat to the music is like the rumble in the controller beats with the music. It's very sensory, so I think you would like that one.
I should be absolutely fantastic at that because my pattern matching skills are second to none. And
it's very like everything is like boom. Originally it was a VR game, and I would love to play it in VR. I want to find a cheap copy now for PlayStation VR. But yeah, I would, if you've got Game Pass, I would highly recommend giving it a go.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take a look at that. And you bought me Nintendo.
Yes. Have you set that up yet? Have you?
Not quite yet.
That's
the next task. So as soon as we come off the podcast, that's me.
Cool. Then we need to arrange a time for me or you to come to each other's islands in Animal Crossing.
Rendezvous on the island.
Then we can send each other letters and gifts and things.
I've had a few letters, but I've not been impressed, so I'm up for that. Anyway, should we do some quick news?
The quick news? You mean the kind of news we don't really want to talk about, but we thought we should mention?
That's the kind.
Yes. Okay. Retailer Currys reveals Pokemon Legends Arceus has become its most pre-ordered game ever.
Have we got numbers?
No, we don't. But this strikes me as really weird because it's like the last place in the world I would ever think about pre-ordering a game is Currys.
Currys.
So
yes.
for me, when I read this, it was like, what, you mean they've got like 3 pre-orders?
Yeah, Currys. How many orders do
Who
they
goes to Currys to pre-order the game?
I do feel this is an attention-seeking announcement myself.
I think so, and we just played into it, which is not good.
Anyway, supposed next-gen artwork for Cyberpunk 2077 has appeared on PlayStation Store.
Yes, they're thinking it's going to be they're going to try and big relaunch it when the PS5 and Xbox Series versions come out. Because at the moment they're just
so degraded themselves so far that they think how bad can it possibly get.
And what is funny, actually, this isn't in the thing, is Dying Light 2 comes out soon, and they actually put a video up on YouTube with this, because this is PS4 footage, just to prove that it does run on the PS4.
Oh, right, okay.
Unlike some games we just talked about. Ubisoft's Hyperscape Battle Royale will shut down in April. Didn't surprise me. It was all right. It just wasn't anything special. Halo Infinite Battle Royale mode might be in the works.
I want to see this. I'm a Halo girl.
I think I would play it more if there was a battle royale mode on it.
Yeah, sure.
I don't like being in teams, and it just feels like when you die and you just come back and whichever team has the most. To me, it just feels like, what's the point? I've died, I'm back. But when you die, and that's it.
I don't like being in teams with anybody other than the person I actually want to shoot in the back.
Yeah, but even so, it's like you'll still be able to squad up in it if it's a battle royale mode. But it's just the whole, if you die but you just come back again, it just takes away the. When you got one life, you die, that's it, you're gone. It's much more. Ooh. Gotta be careful.
It is. Yeah, you've got to be careful. I think it ups the ante a bit.
Yeah, and also it's like more modes the merrier, really.
Yeah.
A state of play has been announced featuring 30 minutes of Gran Turismo 7 PS5 gameplay, which is going to be today, 10 p.m. UK time.
So Greenwich Mean Time.
But Sony have said it is just Gran Turismo. They're not showing anything else. It is just Gran Turismo.
That's it. So anyway, that was the end
of the quick news. It was. So should we go into the big news?
We'll go into the main news, which is about PlayStation's Jim Ryan says...
Yes, there are more acquisitions coming because PlayStation has just announced that they are buying Bungie for, was it 3.8 billion? I want to say off the top of my head.
3.6
3.6.
And Bungie are... well, they're Destiny and Halo.
Well, they made the first 3 Halos. After that's, and it's been a long time since they've done Halo, but yeah, they run Destiny at the moment and everything. They have come out and said that Destiny will still be on other platforms as well.
So the comment on this across the industry was as, this is in a response to all the other acquisitions. So obviously Microsoft have made acquisitions recently. They bought Bethesda, and then last week we talked about the £78 billion acquisition of Activision. So they're saying, but apparently this has been in the works
for the past
5 to 6 months already. I mean, these things don't happen overnight.
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
You know, the amount of lawyers that have to be involved in signing these agreements is phenomenal. So I would believe that. But you know, this is kind of what I said last week. We are in this phase now where we have got a lot of consolidation of the games industry. I think we will see more of this sort of thing as it sort of as it settles down. Interestingly enough, Nintendo, we don't know what they're going to do next.
Yeah, it's like Nintendo is a smaller company than Sony and Microsoft by a long way, because they just make computer games. They don't do Microsoft's got all the PC stuff. Sony's got like TVs, cameras, and they've got electrical departments and things, where Nintendo don't. So I don't think we'll be seeing massive, great big things from Nintendo. But
and these acquisitions haven't really affected Nintendo so far. But if Sony and Microsoft carry on with this acquisition profile, things might start to come into play.
Are they going to be allowed to carry on? Because the news that is breaking earlier is an insider has reported that the FCC is actually stepping in to investigate the Microsoft Activision takeover.
Yeah, so this is financial conduct, and it's to do with monopolies.
Yes.
Because once you own too much in a sector, then there are certain regulations that come into play, and I think that's fair enough, because the amount of business that's going to be going through some of these, which is evidenced by the amount of money that's changing hands here, $78 billion. I mean, that's a huge amount of money. It's almost as much as the UK government spent on test and trace. So, I mean, Nintendo are looking good. Given how corporate they can be. And we've got a story about that later. But, let's see what happens. I feel like Nintendo should buy McDonald's, because they're always sort of like collabing up with them, aren't they? And Nintendo stuff is always turning up in Happy Meals. And
if
obviously
there's
the KFC console coming up.
If that
I feel like this is where they need to be.
How many Happy Meals would I be? I'd be living on Happy Meals just to get all the Nintendo toys.
Yes.
I think
business-wise, this would make phenomenally good sense for Nintendo. Whether they've got deep pockets like that, I seriously doubt it.
No, well, it's like Nintendo's worth is like what Microsoft paid for Activision, isn't it? So,
yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's somewhere just less than $100 billion. But,
but apparently they are saying that like Destiny will still be in everything. From the kind of things that I've been hearing, people are kind of saying it's probably more to do with the fact that they want Bungie's experience in doing a live service game, which is something that Sony doesn't really have at the moment.
No, I think these acquisitions are very stratetic. It's not all just about we're acquiring.
It's not just like flexing guns. It's not just like going, "Whoa, look what I'm doing." It is about, they've got plans and why they're buying them. So keep an eye on that.
I think they're positioning themselves very smart. But this is another very interesting one that Jim Ryan says more acquisitions are coming. Yeah. So again, as we said last week, just keep watching, because I feel there's movement across the sector in terms of consolidation, and we'll see what their business plan is going to be going forward. Well,
that's it.
And it's not really about the consoles, is it?
No, not at all. Although I thought about putting this story in, but I didn't. A retailer in France is actually telling customers to think carefully about what console they buy, because Microsoft's bought Activision. So you want to think, because you might not get the games you want on your PlayStation now that they've got that. And
Fair point, really.
True,
I think this will be exclusive sooner or later. You wouldn't pay $78 billion and say, yes, everybody can share.
Exactly. See the tower walking past my face.
Yeah, Jelly Kelly in shot.
Yeah, but I don't think, for the older gamers, I don't think that's anything particularly that you don't think about, you worry about, because back in the Super Nintendo Mega Drive days, there was a couple of cross-platform games, but majority weren't. No, or they were significantly different because the hardware was so different. So it was about what style of games you like playing. So keep an eye on it. Sad news next.
We will. Yeah, Sega. Oh dear.
Sega is officially pulling out of Japanese amusement arcade business after half a century, 50 years.
Half a century. My goodness.
They sold off quite a bit of their arcade shares last year, and now they've finished it off. And
it's been declining though for a while, hasn't it?
I think the problem is imagine trying to run an arcade in the past 2 years. Your money's just gone.
I mean, you can't run an arcade during a pandemic. No. That really doesn't work. I mean, they're very good at wearing masks, but at the end of the day, you know, the whole being out in social areas, particularly in Japan, where they take it far more seriously than they have in the UK and the US.
I mean,
they've had SARS before, though, haven't they? So they kind of know what they're doing with contagious viruses. So, you know, they sort of like get on top of it far more quickly than we do. And I think even given that, I can't see how you could possibly make money in the arcade game business.
And it's also that the situation where we are now with like home consoles, PCs and that is you can do exactly the same games at home. Just connect up to I know it's slightly different, but you can still just like you can come back with your Street Fighter, go online and have a match there and then with someone, and you're not pumping money into it.
This is also partially in response to the power of the at-home consoles growing exponentially. You know, across the last 10 years, and certainly the newest consoles, phenomenal. The output of those is phenomenal, and you know what you can play on them as well. There's just why would you go out down to your local, you know, I mean, teenagers may do that, but frankly,
a place to hang out.
You know, beer teenagers, they don't actually spend that much money.
That's the thing, isn't it?
They're gossiping and drinking slushies.
The market that you're attracting are not the market that are out earning money with disposable income.
No, disposable income is the key word here. It's just not happening, is it?
Exactly. So
Sega have seen the writing on the wall and decided to pull out.
And to get out of there, which is good, because it's like, you don't want to go down with your sinking ship. We don't want to lose Sega as, you know, they've got a lot of IPs. Not that they do much with them, but they've got a lot of IPs. We don't want just them to go with the sinking ship.
Anyway, moving on. This is what we don't want to happen to us, which is why we're very, very careful about what we use on the channel. But he's got a bit peevish about it. What's the headline, Bestie?
This one, where is it? Popular video game music YouTube channel receives 1,300 copyright claims from Nintendo.
Nintendo are very...
It was basically that he's just been uploading their music. Now, from what I'm about to believe, he didn't monetize it.
Doesn't matter.
Which I know that's true. It doesn't matter, but that's why I think they're not fine. That's the only being he's not getting a massive fine as well. Like the lawyers aren't after them for money.
I'm just going to take him down, but I'll just give you a very, very quick list of what he's uploaded. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess, Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Yoshi's Island, Super Mario Land, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario World, Super Mario Brothers, Mario and Luigi Dream Team, Mario 3D World, Luigi's Mansion, Mario and Luigi's Bowser's Inside Story, Kid Icarus Uprising, Kirby's Dream Land, and the list goes on. So it gives you... This is not just a bit here and there.
Yeah, this is like...
You know, this is wholesale upload.
They've ripped the whole soundtracks from the games and they've just uploaded it straight to YouTube, which you can't do. I don't understand why people think that this is okay.
It's a very popular channel, so I think he thought, as I'm super popular, you know, they can't touch me. And that's just not true.
Yeah, it just makes you wish, though. It's just like, Nintendo, set up a Nintendo music channel. There's demand for it. You'll make money from it. People want to listen to it. You know, it's...
What he says is, I'm not angry or surprised that Nintendo is doing this, but I do think it's a bit disappointing there is hardly an alternative. If Nintendo thinks that's all that needs to be done to set an example, I will let them take down the channel. It is their constant... They got content after all. And I feel like
I find that
this
funny.
is me
I will let them.
The world's smallest violin the world's saddest song. I've got zero sympathy.
No, I don't. I just find it funny.
Everybody knows what Nintendo is like. If you upload their stuff, they will strike you down, and that's the end of it. Don't come being all sad faced to me afterwards.
Just be thankful you didn't monetize it. Otherwise, you would have the lawyers would be going for you.
Millions of dollars.
The lawyers would be going for you.
What he's doing really is trying to get people to his channel,
and then get traction in
them to the channel he has monetized.
Yeah.
So we know what you're up to, dude. Don't think you're smarter than any. Well, it's definitely not smarter than Ninqueso Live and Miss Brie. That's all we need to say, isn't it?
Yep.
So I'm not going to mention this guy's name, but yeah, I'm really unimpressed. I don't care whether he's monetizing.
No,
you should know better. You know, if you actually live in this world, get a grip.
It does make the only thing that I'm sort of like about it is I appreciate it's totally wrong to steal someone else's intellectual property, but it just makes you think, why don't, if Nintendo can see what sort of viewing figures he had on his channel, why don't they make something themselves to just so there is an option for people to listen to the music? You know, create a Spotify account, create a YouTube channel.
They don't want to do that, obviously.
Well, yeah,
it's not like they haven't had the idea. They've got a business strategy, haven't they?
True, I guess it's like the upkeep of it all.
Yeah.
Outweighs what they think they'll make.
Yeah.
Oh well. But listen, we said this many a time. Don't upload other people's things online.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on.
Yes, this one. All us gamers are pretty stupid.
We dragged Ubisoft for profiteering on this channel hundreds of times. You know, as many times as we've got episodes, which I'm not sure what episode we're up to.
49. 49. We nearly got a whole year's worth of episodes now if you listen to one a week.
Holy moly. Anyway, so Ubisoft thinks players just don't get NFTs.
Yeah.
Is it that we don't get NFTs, or is it we don't want to be exploited for profit for you dudes?
Exactly.
Which one is it?
Exactly. It's not about a caring. If they cared about the players and the fact that NFTs are good, what they would do is they would tie NFTs into their digital games, so players could sell their digital games on again like they do with physical games once they finish with them. But they would lose money on that, so that's why they're not doing it. So it's all about these stupid cosmetics and things.
So there's some weird playable NFT has been added to Ghost Recon Greatpoint. And honestly, it's just a bit of an expensive cosmetics profiteering scam, in my humble opinion. And as we know, I understand NFTs. I was the one who explained to everybody NFTs a couple of weeks back.
Exactly. I mean, I couldn't bother to look into it.
An NFT is just some data stored on a third-party server, which may actually blow up or burn down, and then it's gone. So, you know, I can understand that. But somehow, I'm going to read a quote now, and this one, I'm enraged. I could hurt somebody over this. But
please, I'm on video call with you, not like live in the room.
Me and Ubisoft are not friends. But anyway, this is what was said. This is Nicholas Puard, who's VP at Strategic Innovations Lab for Ubisoft. I think gamers don't get what a digital secondary market can bring to them for now because of the current situation and context of NFTs. Gamers really believe it's first destroying the planet, and second, just a tool for speculation. But what we at Ubisoft are seeing first is the end game. Right? Then he says, the end game is about giving players the opportunity to resell their items which they're finished with them, or finish playing the game themselves. So it's really for them. It's beneficial, but they don't get it for now. No. Sorry, Nicholas. It's that's not what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and we're not worried about it destroying the planet. We understand what NFTs are.
That's cryptocurrency.
We know that it's different from data mining. We know that. We're techie people. What we're worried about is it just basically being profiteering of cosmetic items when you're not even giving us the opportunity to resell our digital games.
Exactly.
So, you know, our first worry is it's destroying the gaming industry and basically a way for you to just gouge money out of
it. Just cash grabs, isn't it? It's just like, if these things take off, they'll be releasing a bare minimum game and everything will be NFTs on top of it.
Yeah.
So,
that's what,
you know, it's like, don't get me wrong, I like cosmetics in games, but it's very, 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 very rare that I'll spend physical money to get them. I will unlock some stuff in games. It's like when I see a Fall Guys costumes that I would really like and there's kudos involved. Great, I've got to grind then. I've got to play this game a little bit just so I can get this costume. I think the last time I actually spent some money was when they had the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff out, because I was like, I'm not going to have time to do this. I'm going to have to spend a little bit of money.
Yeah, but exactly. The backlash against this towards Ubisoft has been
it's the backlash.
Enormous. I mean, they ended up having to make a second statement about this because the reaction was so bad. And what they said was, well, it was a reaction we were expecting. Apparently not. Anyway, they also went on to say, as if it's like, if you're in a hole, boys, stop digging. But this is what they said. We know it's not an easy concept to grasp. Could you get any more patronising? Really? You know, it's like, dudes, we're gamers. We know. We understand. We're just not impressed. So, so what they've said is Quartz is really just a step that should lead to something bigger. Something that will be more easily understood by our players.
That's Ubisoft for you. They think you're not very intelligent if you play their games.
You're not very bright, So, needless to say, this has gone down like a lead balloon.
I mean,
I think they'll have to backtrack.
Where we are at the moment, it's like companies announce we're doing NFTs. A few days later, companies announce, okay, we're not doing them. You would have thought that companies are going to be looking around, seeing what's going on, and be like, do you really think it's worth doing an NFT just to get like a quick cash grab to diminish our brand name in the long term? Because
not as if their brand name isn't in the toilet already.
The latest one to do it is Team 17, who make worms and things. They were going to be, this wasn't even really Team 17 doing it. Another company had approached them to make NFTs out of their worm, like graphic arts from worms, and they had agreed to it. Then there was all this backlash, and they've come out today and sort of then like, no, we're not going to be doing NFTs or anything anymore now. Yeah. Because, it's not what people want.
No. And as much as they say it's a reaction we're expecting, I don't think they're expecting that, because this was made by a video announcement on a YouTube channel, but due to the amount of dislikes they got on it, they had to make it private. They pulled the
nice. Like, but good timing though. At least you can't see how many dislikes a video has now on YouTube.
That's it. Yeah. There we go. Anyway,
right. Have you ever been like thinking to yourself, I want to go like into the wilderness, and I want to take my Xbox with me, but I want to make sure it's safe? If you have, we've got the.
That's what I thought to myself. I thought, come the spring, I'm going trekking up the Amazon basin, and what I really need is a carry case for my Xbox.
Exactly. Well, we've got one for you. We have got one for you. It's only $375.
Right.
And it fits the Xbox Series X and S, and it's a really heavy duty.
A wilderness survival carry case for your Xbox Series S. Quick question.
Yeah.
Where do you pack the TV?
Yeah, you need a separate like carry case for the TV.
So when I'm trekking up the Amazon basin with my survival carry case, I also need to carry a TV. Is that right?
Yes, this is true. But it's waterproof to an IPX7 standard, whatever that means.
Wow! So I can actually scuba dive up the Amazon basin and still carry my Xbox Series S.
Dustproof to an IP66 standard and shockproof. So if you should drop it, it'll be all right.
This is by a company called Nanook, isn't it? And I have no idea what they were thinking.
It's cheaper. Actually, if you want it in Europe, it's €500. So it's actually dearer.
€500.
It's dearer in Europe than it is in America.
To be fair, there's not many places
to get your VPNs
where you can go to a survival, and take your Xbox with you. Yeah. But there is room for you. There's room for two controllers.
There's room for two controllers, room for the Xbox, room for all the wires. It's like, there'll be a picture over the flexing Animal Crossing person down there.
Perhaps your little backpack carrier can carry the TV then.
Or if you're out enjoying the wilderness, enjoy the wilderness. Or if you really can't be departed from gaming while you're out in the wilderness, get a Switch.
I was going to say that. Just take your Switch, really. It's kind of a little bit by the by, this,
yes.
Isn't it? It does look pretty intense, and I'm not sure.
It's probably a really good case.
Yeah, if I was taking a flight and I was deciding I'm going to take my Xbox on a flight, I'd probably put it in this because I've seen what the baggage handlers are like at Heathrow.
True. The thing is, though, you can get carry cases where they've got room. So, like, the top half is a TV. So, it's like a streaming, like, case, which, okay, they're quite expensive. But if you're paying $500 just for that, what's the $500 more for a TV as well? Yeah. So, it's an odd thing to exist. But and it's just like, who takes their Xbox anywhere?
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
Mine just sits there.
Is this for moving house?
Just sits there. So,
yeah, it does.
No, you just take out in the car. You don't give it to the movers.
€500. That's insane.
It is.
Yeah. It's a solid state carry case. It's pretty robust. So it's a bit overkill, but I'm sure somebody will buy it.
Somebody will and be like, look at my case. It's good, this case. It's brilliant.
Yeah. That's all our stories today.
That was the news for today. Questions. We do. I'm not going to read question 2 from BP Bartlett because it's just why are you so cuddly and sexy.
That's great. You're my best mate. I never wanted to hear that.
Just because I am. Question 3. Another question though she sent to you. This is specifically.
All right.
How are you getting on with your roller skates?
Do you know what? I've done some drills. So my roller skates are amazing. I really like them. The wheels light up as you roll along, which is great.
Good for the dark.
But the kind of roller skating that I'm doing, these are more like professionals. They're not very. These ones are not expensive for professional skates, but these are more like professional skates. So what I'm doing is not like rollering along the high street. This is like trick roller skating.
You're going up and down the hallways in your building.
Yeah, I've gone up and down the hallway in my building here. So as people know, I live in a very tall building. I live on the 10th floor, but there are actually 21 floors. And inside, they've got sort of like long hallways which are carpeted. So I've had a bit of up and down the hallways. But what I'm doing at the moment is I'm doing quite a lot of like roller skating drills. So I can do crossovers and jumps and turns and stuff. So that's sort of like my main practice. Although I am going to take them out when the weather's a little bit better. It's a bit chilly at the minute in London.
It's getting there though, the weather. It's getting there.
Yeah, and it's not as dark night. So I'm going to take them out and I'm going to try some. And also in my local part of London, they've got some new block paving down the high street, which is all pedestrianised. So I'm thinking like, I need to go to Boots next time. I'll skate down there. So yeah, thank you, BP Bartlett.
Will they let you in?
Very well.
Are you allowed to go in Boots with roller skates on?
I think so. The security guard always winks at me, so I think I could probably
just flag it in. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So yes, BP Bartlett, thank you very much. My roller skates are going really, really well.
And that was all our questions. That was all our questions. If you do have any questions for us, you can either leave them in a comment beneath the YouTube video, or you can do a hashtag Ninqueso live on Twitter.
Actually, for a special wave for a little boy called Benjamin who's got an ear infection, and he's watching a lot of stuff on YouTube, so he wants us to wave to him. So hello, Benjamin.
Hello, Benjamin.
I hope you're feeling better soon with your ear infection.
Is he sitting there like this with his hands on his ears because
he's like that?
Sideback has sore ears too.
Quite a good double ear infection, and his mummy's going to show this to him later because he's missing me.
Did you do anything with the pine cones?
I did. We did pine cone activity. It was pine cone kitchen, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
But... So yeah. So we collected a whole load of pine cones when we were at the
park,
didn't we?
Where the overweight squirrels live.
So did pine cone kitchen with the little bears that I look after on Fridays.
Yeah. Right.
So any more questions?
I don't got any more questions.
Okay. So where can they find you, Bestie?
You can find me on Twitter where I stream Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays and Mondays this week. That's my week schedule anyway. Where we play lots of different games. We're doing some like Zeldas and Super Mario, some Mario stuff as well. So hopefully you see me there. Or you can get me on Twitter at Ninqueso. Just one. I hate the way I had to have a one after it. I didn't put one after it myself. It's just like appeared there after I set Ninqueso up. How about you? Where can people find you?
Here's my tag. I am on Twitter at GamerGirlMissBri, GMRGRL_MISSBI, and I tweet about gaming and neurodivergency and a few other bits and pieces. I'm also on Boris Johnson Out 8 at the minute. So that's where I'm at. So,
a needle pulling thread. Today? Oh, I don't have one, but we'll see what happens.
Don't have one. Well, perhaps if I fill for about 5 or 10 seconds, something will come into your brain. She'll count you in.
Just what? Yeah, why not? Go for it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Will us poor gamers ever become intelligent enough to understand what an NFT is? Find out the questions to these answers. Same cheesy time, same cheesy channel.
Actual stories, no fairy. Okay, see you all next week. Say goodnight, bestie.
Good night, bestie.